today we will be talking about literary criticism. So for the objectives of the lesson, number 1, to have an overview of what literary criticism is. Second, to know the importance, purpose, and benefits of literary criticism. And lastly, to know the things needed in applying literary criticism. So as we go on with our discussion later on, I hope that you will meet these objectives. So, without further ado, let's get started! What is literary criticism? Literary criticism is the evaluation, analysis, description, or interpretation of literary works. It may examine a particular literary work or may look at an author's writings as a whole. In literary criticism, we criticize, we evaluate, or we judge literary pieces. It may be a short story, a poem, or a novel. In here, we give our own opinion on the good and the bad parts of a literary piece. Also, we look what is in beyond the surface of a literary work. For instance, we are reading a new book, and we all know that if we read a new book, it's like entering a new world. And in entering a new world, of course, we do not have any idea or any knowledge of what we are entering. So, literary criticism now comes on the way. Literary criticism helps us to further understand what we are encountering, like in reading books. The literary criticism map. These are the different critical approaches and to the aspect where it falls. As we can see, the work itself is placed in the middle of the map. Why? Because all critical approaches must deal with the work itself or with the text itself. Same is true with the formalist and the deconstruction because these approaches deals primarily only with the text itself and not with any other outside considerations. Historical or biographical approach. Historical or biographical approach has something to do with the author's life and the author's world. In this view, it is important for us to know something about the author and his world in order for us to know his intent in doing his work. The intertextual approach. Intertextual approach is concerned with comparing a literary work with the other literature. This is to get a broader picture. In reader's response, it is concerned with how well the work is viewed by the audience. In this approach, it is the readers who makes the meaning of the work, not the author nor the text itself. Mimetic criticism. Mimetic criticism seeks to see how well a work accords with the real world. And beyond the real world, are the approaches dealing with spiritual and symbolic. These are the images that connects people throughout time and cultures. And in psychological approach is placed in there because it may fit in many places depending on how it is applied. Likewise, feminist, minority, Marxist, and many more. Likewise, feminist, minority, Marxist, and many more approaches can deal with the mimetic criticism and the historical or biographical approach. Let us now proceed to the importance, purpose, and benefits of literary criticism. The primary purposes of literary criticism. One is it helps us resolve a question, problem, or difficulty in the reading. If we do not understand something on what we are reading, of course, questions formulate into our mind. And in order to understand this, we use literary criticism. Second, it helps us decide which is the better of two conflicting readings. And lastly, to enable us to form judgments about the literature we are reading. Literary criticism, we give our own judgments whether it is good or bad in a literary piece. Importance of literary criticism. It helps us to go inside of the text and understand the written work from many different viewpoints. It also helps us to discover new and different things as we further criticize a literary piece. Benefits of literary criticism. It helps the writer to improve the skills in writing a literary piece so that his work could attract and delight the readers. It also helps increase their own tolerance in differing ideas. Before we end our discussion, I just want to share to you a saying by T.S. Eliot, which is, "The end of criticism is the elucidation of works of art and the correction of taste." For me, T.S. Eliot is saying that after we criticize a literary piece, it makes us look at it now in a better way, in an easier way, and in a clearer way. And for the writer's perspective, it gives him or her a room for improvement as he or she accepts judgments from the readers according to their taste. This is now the end of our lesson. Thank you for watching. Let's now proceed to the activity. Write true if the statement is true and false if it is not. Answer the questions provided for.